possibly. Have you received the paperwork and? Thank you. But. Okay. And it's the last name, Finesi, Ms. Dallas?
Yes, it is.
Mr. Finesi, would you, activate your camera and unmute yourself, please?
I just sent him a message to that.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Fennessy, if you could turn on, there he is.
Okay. And Ms. Waldrop, if you'll let me know when you're ready to proceed.
Yes, Judge. Yes, Judge, that's ready.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, Mr. Fennessy. Would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. You can put your hand down. Ms. Waldrop?
Yes, Your Honor, with respect to this case of State versus Zachary Fennessy, 20 CR 002-142C, defendant is pleading to one count of DUI less safe, reckless driving, and speeding. With respect to the state's recommendation, the recommended sentence, or negotiated sentence rather, on the DUI is 12 months to serve, 24 hours, credit for time served, balance probated, for the defendant to pay a $300 fine, complete 40 hours of community service, risk reduction, and alcohol and drug evaluation and any treatment deemed necessary, as well as a victim impact panel. On the speeding, the state's recommendation is 12 months, balance probated to run concurrent to the DUI, with the defendant to pay a $200 fine. And on the reckless driving, that will also be a concurrent probated sentence. Your Honor, it is my understanding that the defendant has completed the risk reduction program and can provide documentation of that, as well as has completed 16 weeks of alcohol and drug counseling and completed 2 hours of the victim impact panel thus far. Counsel, do you stipulate to a factual basis, venue, and identification for purposes of the plea?
I do, but I have a question for the reckless driving. Could that merge into the DUI? I didn't see that. I saw the DUI less safe. I saw the speeding on the recommendation. I didn't see the reckless driving on the recommendation. I would ask that would merge into the DUI.
Your Honor, I just see the reckless driving as listed under the charges, but I have no objection to that merging with the DUI and him pleading to the DUI and the speeding.
Thank you. Would the court consider a NOLO on the speeding charge?
Your Honor, state would object to it, NOLO.
Has he used his NOLO on a speeding charge? I don't have his history in front of me. Has he used a NOLO on speeding in the past 5 years?
One
He is
moment,
not.
Judge. I just see, this was actually negotiated by my colleague, Ms. Reiser, and I see that it was a negotiated guilty plea, so I don't believe they spoke about a NOLO. think the agreement was for a guilty plea.
What was the speed?
One moment, Judge, just one moment. Your Honor, the defendant, excuse me, was speeding at a speed of 100 miles per hour in a 55-mile-per-hour zone.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna let him use a no on that. He can, the negotiations was, my understanding was to guilty pleas on both those charges. So I'm happy to go forward if you would like to plead guilty on the speeding also. Anything further?
Nothing further from the state judge.
Mr. Alex?
Nothing for my client, Mr. Fennessy.
Thank you. Mr. Fennessy, it's my understanding that in case 20 CR 002142C, you would like to plead guilty to DUI less safe and speeding. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with your counsel's representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I will accept the pleas as negotiated. I do have that you've already done by certificate your 16 weeks of alcohol and drug counseling and your victim impact panel. Is there any objection by the state that once he completes the rest of the conditions of probation, that the probation terminate?
Your Honor, the state would object to termination. I would not object to non-reporting. It's a DUI. I don't believe it can terminate, but it can
Okay.
go non-reporting, I believe.
All right. So as soon as you complete the remainder of the terms, Mr. Fennessy, you can go to a non-reporting status on your probation.
Okay.
Anything
And I
further?
spoke with my client about that. I think the only thing left is that Mr. Fennessy has done community service, and all we need is him to get some verification or some documentation from him having completed the community service or some part of it.
Okay, so as soon as he pays a fine and completes the community service, he can go non-reporting. Otherwise, he'll have 2 weeks to go ahead and report to probation until he completes the remainder.
And would
So
the court consider an affidavit of first conviction for my client?
Any objection from the state?
One moment, Judge. I just want to verify that it's the first conviction. No, Judge, no objection.
I'm sorry.
No objection, Judge.
Okay, that's fine, Mr. Ellis. Also, has he surrendered his license?
He's going to do that, Your Honor. I did speak with him earlier about surrendering his license. He'll come down to the court within the next day or two to bring his license. Is that correct, Mr. Fennessy?
yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
All right, very good. Good luck to you, Mr. Fennessy.
Thank you.
Anything further, Mr. Ellis?
That will be all for Mr. Fennessy. I just want to make sure he gets credit for time served. I think he spent like 12 hours or so in the jail. And I did talk to Attorney Reiser about that, and she didn't have an objection to him getting credit for time served.
It's my understanding that he's not going to be required to do any additional jail time. Is that correct? Ms. Walker?
That is correct.
Thank you. Yes, no additional jail time, Mr.
Okay.
Ellis.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. Have a good day.
You as well. Thank you. All right, Mr. Fennessy.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. We'll pass 9. Let me call the Orca motions calendar for this morning. Position number 1, Candace Brooks.
Your Honor, Kendall here on behalf of Ms. Brooks.
Yes, Mr. Kendall, we ready to proceed with the motion in that case?
Yeah, and I'm not familiar with the Orca Court. So it got on this calendar, I'm not sure how. But
The last time you were here, it was at, I believe, a status conference calendar. You indicated to the court that you had filed a motion. Thus, we put the case on the motions calendar for today. So,
yeah, I just found, the standard motions, I got a certificate of discovery in the mail a couple of days ago or last week, but I didn't get any documents or anything with the certificate of discovery.
have you had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Kendall?
I have not, Your Honor. I will be happy to speak with them because this discovery is actually e-filed, so you should be able to log on and take a look at it. But I don't see any particularized motions filed in this case as well, so the state was not prepared to go forward with any motions. There's
Okay.
nothing particularized that's been filed.
All right, so if you will speak after the calendar call to Ms. Waldrop to make sure that you get what you need. We're gonna place this case back on, when is the next, I guess the next time when you come before me, I either want to plea or, I want you to indicate that you want a jury trial or a bench trial. So we'll place the case on a final plea calendar.
Now go ahead and put on the trial calendar.
Okay. I normally like to see if you all can work things out, but if I put it on a trial calendar and you get reach for that trial calendar, it's gonna go forward at, I'm not gonna give you a reset. That's why I wanted to put it on a final plea calendar, but if you want me to put it on a trial calendar, I'm happy to do that.
I always like to try to work things out and talk, and I definitely talk to the state. I'm just pretty much just not a dismissal, it's gonna be a trial.
Okay, all right, so,
And the only thing I would ask you, Judge, I don't think I filed my leave of absence on this case, but hopefully the trial calendar is not June 25th, 23rd through 25th.
I think we already have all the cases for June, so it would be after that time. Okay, so we will place this case on the next trial calendar this after June. And if you'll speak with Ms. Waldrop this morning to see if you all can, that you get everything that you need, okay?
Okay, Judge.
All right,
Thanks.
appreciate it.
Your Honor, if I may, according to the schedule, it will be July 25th for a trial, jury trial.
25th?
Yes,
Okay,
it's a proposed date. It's subject to change.
okay.
Thank you.
All right, position 2, Michael Rivera.
Hi, good morning, Your Honor. Matthew McNally for Mr. Rivera. So there are 2 motions pending in this case. One is a self-defense motion that I do not want to take up today. The second one was a motion to compel discovery, which I've been talking to Ms. Waldrop about. That's the one I wanted to take up today. Ms. Waldrop advised me just this morning that she has received a bunch of discovery that she is still organizing in a way to get to me. So I would, if it's okay with Your Honor, I talked to Ms. Waldrop about this. If we can maybe put this on a status calendar, maybe 3 or 4 weeks out, just so I can review the discovery. And if there's anything else that I need, I'll go ahead and send out subpoenas based on that status hearing 3 or 4 weeks out. So after that, we should either be able to work it out or know whether it's going to be a trial.
Okay,
If
so.
that makes sense with Your Honor.
No, that's fine with me. So if the first motion that you indicated, is that going to be determined by the discovery that you received?
Right, Your Honor. So I don't think we should have an immunity motion without me reviewing. So there's a bunch of videos of what happened.
Okay,
And that will tell me whether or not we have any merit on the immunity motion. So yeah, I would absolutely prefer to see all of the videotape of the incident before attempting to argue that motion.
okay. So when is the next status calendar?
So we have June 7th, or you can do a June 21st. Do you think June 21st might be
There's about 82 videos that we got in yesterday from Hayfield Police Department, so. I would ask
Yeah.
for,
So we have June 21st. You think that's enough time, council?
If it's not, let us know, and we can push it off till July.
I can do July 5th.
Yeah, if we could, can we just put it on the 21st? And then if there's issues with resolving the video, I'll reach out to your honor. Is there a good email to reach out directly to y'all?
You can reach out to Ms. Bolton, if you have her email.
BRANDE.BOLTON?
Yes, at Fulton County. Yeah.
Got it, at Fulton County.
Yeah.
The rest of it, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right,
So June 21st.
okay,
And that's 1:30.
and that would be June 21 at 1:30.
Yes. And it's the hybrid. So if either you can come in person or Zoom. But you'll get notice in the mail.
All right. So I think that concludes my business for this case, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. McNally, have a good day.
Oh,
Mr.
yeah,
Howard.
yeah, right. Let me, 30. So this is a daughter witness.
George Howard.
Okay.
518-3085. Open officer sends it back.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, sure.
I just, thank you. Thank
Have a
you.
good day. Position 3, Danny Robertson. Yes, good morning, Mr. Owens. Are we prepared to go forward with the motion in this case this morning?
Your Honor, I believe a null process has been tendered on that case to the court.
Oh, okay, I did sign that. A non-cross was signed this morning by me.
But
All
if,
right.
council, I'm sorry, one moment. I'm sorry, Your Honor. If you want a copy, you just wait just one moment. If you want a copy of it, just give me just a moment, or I can email it to you.
Thank you.
You want to email it or?
Wait. Thank you.
Position 4, Kentavia Sims.
Good morning, Your Honor. Catrice Helen with the Public Defender's Office. We are ready for that motion. I have Mr. Sims present here in court.
Okay, very
And-
good, thank you.
And Your Honor, the state is not moving forward on that case today with motions. With regard to motions in that case, Your Honor, the state is not moving on the grounds that the motions were not particularized when they were filed. I show that the motion to suppress and motion in limine that were filed do not show sufficient facts on which to provide the state notice of how it is to proceed. It looks like this was filed on March 8th of 2023. Now, Your Honor, the state did receive an email from, I think it was E-File, Georgia, around 4:28 yesterday evening with a new, I guess, more particularized motion. However, Your Honor, that was untimely. That was not enough time for the state to gather its witnesses with regard to proceeding on motions today. And so the state will not be proceeding with motions. We are unable to proceed. We simply were not provided sufficient notice of a particularized motion as is required under OCGA 17-5-30.
When did you receive notice? I'm sorry, when were the additional motions or? the particular-
4:28 yesterday.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. I'm gonna give the state time to prepare properly. When is the next motions calendar?
And Your Honor, just briefly, I'm sorry, with respect to the state's request, we're asking that you deny the motion based on it being not particularized and untimely. So that's what the state would be requesting.
Okay, I'm not going to deny it. I'm just going to reschedule it.
Understood, Judge.
Are there any bench trials scheduled already? Okay, what's the next one now? Okay, let's do July 19th.
Oh, we have, August 16th.
Do we have July?
I'm doing some research to figure out why it's the same July schedule.
So you're saying the first that we can schedule is in August. August what? August 16th work for council,
Yes, Judge. Same time?
9 a.m. Ms. Bolton.
Yes, sir.
Yes, August 16th at 9 a.m. Okay, on the add-on motions calendar, Taylor Carter.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Gaither.
Good morning, Your Honor. Frank Gaither for Mr. Jawan Haddad in that case. He wasn't able to appear. This was one of Mr. Rothrock's cases, and I'm making the announcement for him. It appears that Ms. Carter's case was supposed to take a diversion class. She was given until June the 3rd, 2023 to complete the class. Looks like Ms. Githiel, ADA Riser and Waldrop have been emailed about this, and basically we're just asking for a reset until after June 3rd, just give her an opportunity to complete the diversion class.
Okay, any objection from the state?
No objection, Judge.
Okay. So we'll put this back on, I guess, on a status calendar. What's the date?
Okay,
June 21st work?
that's fine.
Okay. That completes the motions calendars for this morning. Good listening. Mr. Gaither, is Mr. Rakoff going to be with us this afternoon, or are you going to handle? He has one, I think, one plea of a BOGO in that case. Are you familiar with that?
I'm not familiar, but if it's just a plea, I can handle that.
Okay, and that's the only thing that we have on that calendar this afternoon.
Well, let me say this. I haven't spoken to the client, so I don't know whether the client's availability, whether he's coming or anything.
Would you mind?
Sure, I'll do the best I can to contact him.
Yeah, would you do that now for the court to see if you can
Sure.
get in touch with them?
And-
To see if he will be present, or if he can be present sooner.
And Your Honor, just so that the court is aware, Deputy Ekpo of our office will be handling that particular plea.
Oh, okay, thank you. Ms. Walter, would you see if Ms. Ekpo, if we can raise Mr. Bowo, she would be available this morning, possible.
Absolutely.
Okay, I believe that completes our morning calendar.
Great.